Hey there, my name is Sela Beck, and you're the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So the question I'm asking today, this morning, is this very fine morning, I would say, is Doctor Who a platform or is it an entertainment? You know, is it a platform or an entertainment? And I think that's a real core question because we've been going backwards and forwards here in fandom, having an argument. People who really don't like this current era of Doctor Who. And by the way, if you're somebody who loves this era, God bless you. And I have nothing against you. And honestly, I'd love you to come on the channel because we have real opposing worldviews. And I just think it's good and healthy for people who are opposing worldviews to talk to each other. You know, I think that's a good thing for each other to do. Please, if you want to come on, please, I would love to talk to you. Especially if you're somebody who believes that if you're a white man, you've got a much higher chance of success. Especially in like writing or stuff like that. Yeah, if you're somebody of that belief that if you're a non-white male, you have an inherent disadvantage in Western society, I would love to talk to you. I really would, and I'm not going to be mean to you. I just want to talk to you because I don't understand your worldview at all. It seems really different from the way I see things. So, yeah, I would love to talk. But anyway, we've had this argument going backwards and forwards. People who really don't like this era of Doctor Who, I mean, amongst the other reasons we really don't like it, is when the claims is it's agenda-driven, or the normie audience say it's preachy. It's agenda-driven, to which people reply, it's not agenda-driven, it's just being nice to people isn't an agenda. Having empathy isn't an agenda. And that's true. However, that's not the answer. That's not really what's going on. We do feel it's an agenda. So, I think this question of if it's a platform or if it's entertainment answers this. It answers the debate, is it agenda-driven or not? Because if it was a platform, the messaging comes first. If it's an entertainment, the entertainment comes first. So yeah, that's the question we are going to be wrestling with in today's video. But before we get there, can I ask you guys, can you hit that subscribe button? Can you hit the like button and share button as well? I'm not going to stop you on that. But can you hit that subscribe button? That would be really fantastic. I am insanely, and I would say somewhat pathetically, insanely pathetically grateful. I really am. I genuinely, I am. So, hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much. If you do subscribe, of course, you can enter my weekly competitions. So the prize this week has been, actually, this has been a 3-weeker, this one. Normally they're a week, but this one's because I really like it, is the Indiana Jones DVD box set. Indiana Jones DVD box set. It came out before Kingdom of Crystal Skull, which I would say makes it a better box set right there. Fantastic bonus disc of like everything you want to know about the making of Indiana Jones. I just started watching Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom last night because they're recording a panel about it that's going to come out on Friday. It's so good. It's so freaking good. So yeah, I digress. All you need to do to win it is subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. And then in the comments, leave the hashtag Dr. Jones, and that will and then you'll be entered in. We're doing the prize draw on August the 2nd when I'm on the TARDIS zone. I can't remember if that's a Saturday or Sunday. If it's a Saturday, we're doing a watch along of a classic episode. We do watch along of classic episodes every week on the TARDIS zone. So this week is Planet of Fire. And if it's Sunday, it will be the Idiot's Lantern. We do the Modern Who, New Who on Sunday. You're home for Doctor Who wash-alongs, the TARDIS zone. Anyway, so that's when doing the prize drawing. Good luck if you enter. Also, even if you're not subscribed, just for showing up, go check the video notes, and there is an audio adventure for you to download. So it's going to be the Tomorrow People or Sapphire, and still both of these were made by Big Finish, fantastic company. Both of these are licensed and out of print. You can't get them for love nor money. We can probably get them on. You can probably get them for love. I would say maybe somebody would swap you their disc, their shiny disc of the Sapphire Still or Tomorrow People in exchange for sexual favour. I wouldn't recommend that. That's a bad thing. That's called prostitution. I really don't think you should do that. Much better download it from the video notes. If you do download it, listen to enjoy it, and Big Finish ever gets the license back, go over there and buy yourself a digital copy, because I think it's probably the right thing to do. Or just go over there anyway and buy yourself a digital copy of anything. They're like $2.99. So worth it. Great entertainment. Fine. So the question we're asking is Doctor Who a platform or is it an entertainment? So, why are we asking this question? Because I think people will have denied strongly it's a platform up until a couple of days ago when they had the Star Trek panel. Now, Star Trek, Star Wars, and Doctor Who are the holy trinity of nerddom, the holy trinity of science fiction, and they are all kind of interlinked. It's they're all kind of in the same trend. In that they both have very divided fandoms. That a lot of them say we absolutely hate what you're doing, and we hate what you're doing because it's agenda driven. It's agenda driven rather than being story driven. And so we've been having this virtual Comic-Con, which has been so sad. Oh my God, it's been so sad. It's been on YouTube. It hasn't been live. They disabled the comments. They disabled the likes. They just really, nothing says I have no confidence whatsoever in my product. What I'm saying, other than disabling the likes, dislikes, and the comments. That's pretty bad. And it's not even live. It's so lame. Anyway, so on the Star Trek panel, we had Alex Kurtzman. Alex Kurtzman is the Star Trek Chris Chibnall, so take that as you will. And he came out with this interesting, I would say, somewhat moronic statement, which basically said, again, he lives in a bubble. And in the bubble, this is perfectly okay to say. So this is just a freeze frame with his audio underneath it. Hopefully the video won't get stricken by CBS, who actually copyright struck even themselves. They copyright struck even themselves when they put this out. They're that into copyright striking. So let's have a quick look and see what he's got to say for himself. It's a 20-second clip, just under 20-second clip.
Black Lives Matter, the NAACP, a lot of our cast speaking to that, Star Trek speaking to it. The goal is not really to promote Star Trek, but to promote these organizations and to use our platform to be able to bring greater awareness to these very, very important messages and places.
Well, that's a very worthy use of a very powerful platform.
No. That's not a very worthy use of a very powerful platform. That's a very, very bad use of a platform that has a lot less power now because it's been used as a platform as opposed to an entertainment. Again, the argument has been, when we say it's like too preachy, too political, people say, well, Doctor Who's always had a political bent, and that's absolutely true. We've had Happiness Patrol, Malcolm Hughes stories. They're all somewhat political. Malcolm Hughes, again, was a very strong lefty, as was a lot of people. But I think hitherto, now listen, I find most of the fans of the current era are younger. On the younger side, I was talking earlier about this younger kid I was talking to, and decent kid, just completely had drunk the Kool-Aid of everything he's been told all his life. But if you're younger, you will not realise that people of differing political opinions, political outlooks, can be friends. Up until about 5 years ago, wasn't a problem at all, wasn't it? So we had people like Terrence Dix and Barry Letts, who are basically left-wing, right-wing people, work together, and they produced wonderfully balanced Doctor Who. I think was it Andrew Cartmel, John Nathan Turner, another example. They produced wonderfully balanced Doctor Who that was political, but somehow wasn't alienating to the people who didn't happen to agree with that politics. So how did that happen? Because Doctor Who at that time was primarily an entertainment. And if it's an entertainment, it's got to be entertaining. If it's an entertainment, it can't be alienating to half your audience. If it's a platform, it has to be alienating to half your audience in 2020. It has to be. And that's why losing half their viewers, or in Doctor Who's case, Star Trek I think probably lost a lot more, but they hide their figures. Doctor Who's case, listen, by every metric in which we call Doctor Who popular or successful up until 2017, it is no longer popular and successful. Using those same metrics, without moving the goalposts, it is not successful. It's not successful, and I posit it's my theory that it's because Doctor Who has become a platform, much like Star Trek, than an entertainment. In fact, I think primarily a platform. And I think most of television entertainment is. I think the reason viewing audiences are basically down because most of television is treated as a platform as opposed to entertainment, right? And so it's not. And the upshot is it's not that entertaining. It's really kind of boring, you know. Spyfall had a lot of glitz and glamour, but it held my attention. I did like Sacha Dhawan being bonkers, but every time Jodie's on screen, I want to switch off. I really do. I just really don't like her as Doctor Who. I don't think she's very good. But the overall season 12 was just boring. It was really boring. I fell asleep. I did reviews of them. I fell asleep like all the time trying to review it, and it was just painful. Oh my god! Well, honestly, if it wasn't on the channel by Orphan 55, I would have stopped watching Doctor Who altogether. And it's like, it's just agony. It's so bad. It's so freaking bad. So if it's a platform, what's it a platform for? So I think this is we're going to go over this thing. This is quite a indicative of what I believe the platform is. Now, I don't know where this comes from. Philip Morris, who unearthed the lost episode of Doctor Who, did he get Underwater Menace? Was that him too? Enemy of the World, Web of Fear. I love it. I love Web of Fear. What a great episode. Why have they not animated that missing episode yet? What's up with it? One episode. Actually, I'd love to know what he thinks of the animations. That'd be interesting. But he posted this and he got vilified by the people saying it was true. I don't know what the source is of this. However, I do think this is a real window onto how people who really like this era of Doctor Who, how they think, because they think it's good for it to be a platform, right? So this is just what I've been seeing on Twitter, and it's like, I would say there is a limited amount of psychos on Twitter that feel this way, you know, probably maximum 400. Maximum 400. But most of them have like 20 Twitter accounts because they're freaking crazy. So, you know, but let's be generous, say 100. You know, it might be 10, it might be 12, it might be 50, it might be nothing. But yeah, I do think this is the way they think. So let's read over it together. The MNDs are nobodies who were already feeling threatened by a world rapidly leaving straight white male entertainment behind. So it took me a while to work out what the NMDs are, and that's people who use the hashtag not my doctor. So listen, I am firmly in the Fandom Menace, right? I love the Fandom Menace. I use that hashtag all the time. Never use this hashtag not my doctor, but yeah, honestly, she's not really she's removed from my headcanon. And I don't understand how hashtags are declarations of war, you know, like hashtag is now like waving a flag. Yeah, okay, whatever. But so basically what it is, they made a group of people that they're allowed to hate because these people, they love to hate people. They love to, for all their talk of empathy and love, they have neither in their lives. So let's analyze this. The NMDs. By the way, it doesn't matter if you never use that hashtag. They would say, "Oh, you're an NMD." It doesn't matter because again, they created a group that is kosher for them to hate, and they love to hate people. So the NMDs are noble. So I see. So they're already saying, you know, they've got to say that people who disagree with them don't exist. They never go to the actual criticisms. You know, they always go first. They go for like personal attacks and say, they're not worth listening to. And normally, the psychology of somebody when they personally attack you is they think of what's the worst thing, right? What is the worst thing I can call you? And that's what they say. So the reason they think it's the worst thing, most people will think the worst thing, if you get down to it, is actually the bit of like self-loathing. It's the thing they're most frightened about themselves. So that's what protection comes from. So they are this person's really a nobody, who are already feeling threatened by a world rapidly leaving straight white male entertainment behind. Well, that was the theory. That was certainly the theory, wasn't it? We didn't feel threatened by it. We felt like, what the hell? I like watching Star Wars. I like watching Star Trek. Why are you making it crap? But they did revel in taking it away and leaving that audience behind because they thought they truly believed it, that the world had moved on and this evil white male patriarchy that had oppressed them and controlled them for too long, which isn't real. It's not real. They're just crazy. Was finally being overthrown, and we weren't scared. We weren't scared that the world was leaving behind straight white male entertainment. We were scared that that was your bonkers theory, and that you were making frankly terrible versions of things that we loved, based on your bonkers theory that in nowhere means match the reality whatsoever. And as it turned out, that happens to be exactly the case, didn't it? You know, and there's a whole axis of like insanity. They think basically in their heads, if you dislike this Doctor Who, you want to kill people who aren't the same color as you. You know, it's the same. You're on the, it's like it's blah blah ABCD. Yeah, really, okay. You know, if you dislike this era of Doctor Who, then you want to vote for Brexit or vote Republican or Conservative, which means that you hate people who aren't, because they're crazy. Again, they are crazy. Don't think they're not crazy, because they're cray. So that was the theory driving both Doctor Who, Star Trek, and Star Wars, and comic books as well, DC and Marvel comics. 2008, surprisingly, was spared. I don't know how that happened. So they fundamentally changed these things to leave behind straight white males, and all of them lost half of their audience. All of them lost or more. You know, and they're still losing. You know, Doctor Who, if they can make it and it ever does come back, they're probably going to end up around, the 2-3 millions? You know, they'll lose. You know, it's a failed experiment. 100%, which is why I think they're getting more belligerent about it. Okay, so these people thought they found their identity in the Doctor. We did relate to, it used to be Doctor Who. Everybody related to Doctor Who, especially if you felt like you were a bit of an outsider, right? Especially if you felt you were there. So that meant if you were a smart kid, a kid that didn't like sports, a kid that liked, story of or if you're gay, or if anything is different about you, you felt an affinity to Doctor Who, because the Doctor didn't care about his difference. In fact, he somewhat celebrated it, and I think that's an affinity. So that's why I think there's a huge LGBT following in Doctor Who, but I think there's also a following of people who also it felt a little bit not quite normal, because again in the 80s when you watched Doctor Who, you weren't normal, right? You weren't like it was not popular. It wasn't popular at all. You were you know what happened if you watch Doctor Who? It's harder, it's harder to get laid. Essentially, that's how much you had to love Doctor Who, right? That's how much you had to love Doctor Who, and that's how much we did. Listen, a Doctor Who T-shirt basically made you, unshaggable. That's what it. I'm just telling you as it was. Unless you found the holy grail of girlfriends, the genuine geek girlfriend. That is the greatest thing ever. Otherwise, you just kept quiet about it and tried to act normal until you've been dating for like 2 or 3 months, and then you say, "Oh look, I'm going to watch Cherub the Zygons," which is exactly what I did. And by that time, you're over the hump, and you could have a hump as well. So that's how it basically worked out. So a lot of felt a real strong affinity to Doctor Who, right? And then to have it like taken away from them, as they say they did here, was painful and was very, very upsetting. And honestly, for me, if it had been successful, if there was this other audience out there, if it remained popular, if it had remained popular, I would just walked away and go, fine, okay, I had my fun, it's over, I'll find something else, I'll move on with life. Then he became a woman. Okay, didn't bother anyone. Yeah, honestly, people were worried that it was indicative of political correctness gone mad. That was my thought for like 5 seconds after Jodie was announced, right? That was my, and then it turned out, it turned out that's exactly what it was. But at the time I said, oh no, they're not going to do that. They're not going to blow this opportunity to. And I thought it was actually quite a good idea. So that wasn't the issue at all. And once again, their identity is threatened. No, we're not threatened. It wasn't a threat. It wasn't a threat at all. So they lash out. And if you say lash out, you go, why are you making the Doctor an idiot? They figure any criticism of anybody on the progressive stack, be you a woman, be you, be you a non-white male, any criticism whatsoever, say, oh, yeah, it means in their minds you don't like it because of their identity, because they're crazy, okay? Because they are crazy, crazy people who are, just unstable and, ready to lash out and basically, as they say, is what they're saying here, they seek to do evil and hurt others. So what is this evil? Like, listen, I've seen plenty of evil on your side. I've seen people make up false accounts and pretend to be allies or the people they wanted to vilify so they could put terrible things in their mouths and then vilify them. That's pretty bad. That's what bad people do. Book burners, generally bad people. People who have no sense of humor, generally speaking, bad people. The Timeless Children is an allegory to these people. They are personified in the master. Okay, we're fine. Seeking to destroy what he cannot and will not accept. Because it threatens his identity. Yeah. Okay. Okay. This is that's your theory. And whenever you say anything, when you say Doctor Who is in that pop, they go, citation please, what's the citation? And you show them the audience figures, they go, it's all faked, or whatever they did, because they're crazy. Again, this is a recurring theme of this video. They're freaking crazy. Because it's like NMDs, I see exactly. Again, they have to make groups of people there to hate. It's honestly speaking, when you're making groups of people to hate, when you have to label them, that's probably a sign you're not the good guys, right? If you're handing out yellow stars with NMD on it, you're probably not one of the good guys at that point. The Master seeks to destroy it using the unimaginative trope of a familiar villain. Okay, whatever. Okay, so let's go on. But Chibnall knows this. 2 words. I think you wanted 2 O's on that. He's not blind to it. Yeah, we're saying he did it. We're agreeing at this point. We're saying he's doing it on purpose. His response to them is personified in the Doctor. You think you destroyed me? Well, basically, we think you destroyed yourself. Honestly, your viewing figures kind of prove that point. He is sending the message. You're no threat to me. Leave. It helps me to forge a newer, better identity. Go ahead. Okay, go. Keep going. Keep going. I am currently just documenting your failure because this is what it is. It's your failure. It's not working out how you think it would, right? If your theory was right, it would have worked out differently. But it's not working out the way you think. So therefore, you're wrong. I know this is like that. Probably if you're a younger person, you don't hear that often. You're wrong. You've got it wrong. Really? It's like, again, run it through your head. Yeah, again, it's not your fault. You're the product of 2 generations, maybe 3 generations of terrible parenting. Where you can deal with no consequence whatsoever. Where you feel somebody saying, I disagree with you, is a all-out attack. You're the product of terrible parenting and and the environment. We're all products of our environment. Most likely, if you grew up in the 70s in China, right, you would be really on board with Chairman Mao and the communists. They all have this little red book of Chairman Mao's thought. People normally take on the outlook of their of their environment, their world, which again I think it's a something that made Doctor Who fans love Doctor Who, because we were normally all a little bit different. And we didn't take on the outlook of our prevailing culture, and that's why we love Doctor Who. You people here are subsumed in your culture, and you do not want any revolution from it whatsoever. You do not want anybody questioning it whatsoever. You just want everybody to follow the damn rules of your really small, tiny world. Leave. It helps me to forge a new, better identity where people don't watch the show because there aren't enough people. Go. Now I do care. The white male patriarchy of the show, to which you feel so titled, is gone. Yeah, obviously that was the function of the Timeless Children. Now, I'm going to say it in their language, right? In their language is, we've got to make Doctor Who relevant. Having all these white men makes it not relevant. That's why we got to add in lots more people of non-white males, to make it relevant to people. That's what's going on in their head. And believe me, the Timeless Children are not shunted off before Hartnell. They're going to be peppered all the way through the Doctors. That is the plan, and that's what they're doubling down and tripling down on. And again, yeah, just as it didn't work in any of these other times, it's not going to work again. But as I said, they're crazy, they're insane, and I think one of the definitions of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And they are convinced it's going to work. It's going to convince it's work. Twitch title was gone, and we are never going back. Well, yeah, that's probably true. They probably are never going back. So one of two things can really happen. They can be wrong and go back and like maybe resurrect Doctor Who, or more likely they're never going to go back and they're going to be down to 1-2 million viewers, and it's not going to be economically viable to make Doctor Who. So again, they're never going to go back. So maybe 10, 15, 20 years later, after this, there'll be a kid who watched David Tennant and Matt Smith, and they were enthralled, and they grow up and they become a scriptwriter, and they, like Russell D Davies, they become an influential scriptwriter, and I miss Doctor Who. I want Doctor Who to come back, and then it might come back. Maybe, who knows? I mean, listen, it's I'm hopeful that it's the show that comes back. I'm hopeful it will. Who knows? Listen, we had a great run, and I even like Capaldi. I know a lot of people were ducking out, but I didn't like Capaldi, especially to I love Capaldi. I would like to see more. We have Big Finish. I think Big Finish can survive fine without there being a TV show. And quite frankly, I would really be fine with this Doctor Who just going away. Because I think it's just absolutely awful. But anyway, that's my point of view. If you love this era, please get in contact and we can talk all this out. My name is Philo Beckett, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.